All right, let's go out to Atlanta, Georgia, and talk to the great and powerful Laura. What's up, Laura?
Hello, and I'm too old to go to a creek.
Listen. You are not. At the last Turnstile show I went to, I went with, how old's 55?
I will be 50 by the time we go see Creed. So
now, how old was Blake?
Too old. He's 3 years older than me. So
yeah,
53.
so 53. He did break a rib at that show. It got pretty wild. But no, man, you can go to anything you want to.
No, I'm more like Lionel Richie, Barry Manilow. Those kind of groups. That's my age group.
Barry Manilow and Neil Diamond was the first concert I ever went to. My parents took me.
That's a great one.
I was an infant. Yeah, it's lodged in there. The first show I remember was the Oak Ridge Boys in Chicago. Man, that was a time ago. All right, so what's up? How can I help?
Well, I hope that you can help me untangle some of the mess that I'm in. First of all, my ex-husband, we've been divorced 3 years, just won't leave me alone. Constantly sends me texts about, I miss you. I can't be without you. Texts, phone calls, emails, whatever. Now, the background is we've been together since we were seniors in high school. If we had stayed together, last week would have been our 40th anniversary. But I married him and divorced him twice because he's a cheater.
Oh, so you won't cut him off. You need him.
Well, the problem is I'm an only child. My father is 94 years old and has caregivers and is at his house. And
you need him like oxygen because you're scared to death of being alone.
I don't know that I'm scared of being alone. He's scared of being alone. I'm not.
Then why won't you block him and cut him off and never talk to him again ever? Because he's destroyed your life multiple times.
Well, this is true. But I have 3 children that are married. One of them,
you're deflecting. Why won't you cut him? Why won't you cut him off forever and say you've destroyed my life multiple times by cheating and cheating and cheating? You're not weaseling your way back in again.
Explain to him that we will never be together again.
Yeah,
ever.
but you've told him that 2 other times.
Oh, this is true.
And probably, I may be wrong, but in between your divorces, y'all have probably had some flings too.
You mean with each other or?
Yeah, with each other.
Yeah.
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 So he's just business as usual.
Yeah, that's right. He just thinks he's going to come right back in.
Because he has every time.
Anymore.
He has every time.
Of course he has. You're exactly right.
So when somebody tells me like, hey, somebody won't quit contacting me, my first question is, well, are you talking to them? And they go, well, yes. Are you like responding back? Yes. Are you taking care of them? Well, I mean, kind of, yes. Are you making plans? I mean, sort of, yes. Or it's absolutely not. It's harassment, and I call the police. But I'm guessing you're more of the former.
Yeah, I am, because I'm somebody that always wants everybody to be happy. I've learned that.
Right.
And with my dad, he wanted to, once this all happened a couple of years ago, he said, I don't have any family left, but I'm very close to your dad, and I'd love to be able to go see your dad, one day a week. So he takes him dinner on Sundays. Now, I asked my dad if that was okay, and at first my dad was like, no, and then he said, well, okay. So it got to be where he's wiggled his way back in, and
he has not.
Yeah,
he hasn't. He has created a relationship with, or continued a relationship with your dad. If I was your dad, I'd have my feelings hurt in a significant way. I mean, I'm sorry. If I was you and my dad was doing that, was continuing to meet with my ex-wife who had blown my life up and destroyed my kids' lives twice, I would be hurt by that. But my dad's a grown man and can make his own choices.
My dad has dementia, so, it's kind of like.
There you go. He hasn't weaseled his way back in unless he starts messing around with the will and things like that. That's weaseling back in. But you are allowing him into your life.
Okay.
I just don't know why you're doing that. Unless you just say, hey, I love him. He's cheated on me twice. We've been divorced twice, but I don't want to be alone. And I do love him, and he's hurt me bad, but here we are. And you make peace with that.
Okay.
Where's
I
your
just,
where's your digestive issues come from? Like where does that what's the hang up?
well, probably it's because I have 3 grown children. One of them has grandchildren that were in contact with him. Before all this happened, they did stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
My other 2 children have had babies since our divorce, and he has never met those babies because my children saw him cheating. So, that's a whole nother different story. They were the ones that saw him the last time first.
But they're grown adults. They get to do that.
Yeah. And I guess it just hurts me because I think about he doesn't get to see them. I guess I do still care about him. I don't love him.
Hold on.
I still care about him.
It's because of choices he made.
That's right.
I think you do care about him, and I think you'd probably be bananas if you didn't have a little bit of love in there somewhere. I think the bigger picture is, how old are you?
65.
65. I think you had a really, really crystal clear picture of what your life was going to look like at 65, and that guy blew it up.
No, this is absolutely true. And he admits it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I did all that. Well, too bad.
Except not too bad, because you keep going back to him. Y'all keep going out.
Well, I'm not going out with him.
Yes, you are.
I mean, I don't do stuff. No, I don't. I don't do anything. No, I do not see him.
Okay.
I talk to him on the phone. I do not see him.
How does it?
I was getting ready to go on a trip. He wanted to come over here and tell me goodbye. I said, "What are you talking about?" And I just blew up.
Because he's just following the tracks y'all have followed before.
Okay.
Which is y'all got divorced. He cheated on you. Y'all got divorced. You said, I'm not going to have this in my house. I'm not going to be married to someone who treats me like this and who cheats on me and the kids. And then it started with, well, hey, we have to talk because of the kids. And then it started a text message, and it started in a phone call. And then, hey, let's just go grab coffee. And then you ended up married again.
No, I ain't doing that. I know that.
Okay. So what's the benefit of the in-between?
I don't think there's any benefit.
Then why don't you block him and cut him off and say, I'm never talking to you again. I'm moving on with my life.
Okay.
I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just proposing that. Why haven't you done that?
Okay, here's the deal. He has no friends.
That's his problem. That's a choice he's made.
Yeah.
What else?
No money.
That's a choice. That's a choice he's made. That's a choice he's made.
I understand that. He has health problems and went to the hospital, and they said we've got to figure out what this is. You may be having congestive heart failure. He's got heart trouble. He's got 5 stents in his heart. So I am the only one that can help him. There's nobody else that can help. The child that talks to him doesn't live here. So, what do you say? Oh, I'm sorry you're sick and you may die. I'll see you later. I mean, I can't, in my heart, I can't do that.
Then you have to make peace with taking his phone calls and his text messages. And you have to make peace that maybe you're not his wife. Maybe y'all don't have romantic interests, but now you're his mother.
Oh, that's true. I am his mother.
You're his mom. So make peace with that.
Okay.
He chose on multiple occasions to not be in relationship with you.
Mm-hmm.
He chose to not be in relationship with his kids by his actions.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And you have chosen to not let go of this fantasy that you've held on to for almost 40 years. And I'm not telling you have to let it go, but here's what I want. I want you to make peace with it.
Okay.
If you're going to take care of this deadbeat and you're going to take care of him and pay his bills and make sure he's got chicken noodle soup, then make peace with that.
But that's not what I want to do.
And if you want him out of your life, like you called and said, he won't quit calling me. Well, of course not. You're his mom.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to take care of him, then cut him off and say, I can't do this. This isn't my responsibility to take care of you. Call the Social Security office. And I wish you the best.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't heal him. You can't make him be a person of character. He's not going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make your kids seem to have more intestinal fortitude than you do.
Yes, they do.
And so I just make peace with it.
Okay.
Do you see an alternative? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there isn't. I mean, yes, I agree. I understand. Yeah. I don't want to be his mom, though. I don't want the rest of my life being his mom.
But you've already decided that's the case. You said, like, I can't let him just, pay his own bills.
Maybe I need to get some. I need to get some backbone.
Is that what you want?
That's been my problem all along. Well, that's been my problem all along.
Yeah.
I remarried him. Why did I do that? I should have never done that.
Well, that's in hindsight, but you were trying to keep that fantasy together.
Gotcha.
And fantasies are powerful, man. Hope is a powerful thing. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm fascinated. What are you going to do?
Well, I don't know. I got to think about it. I got to figure out what I can.
Or let me say it this way. Where does this end? And what I mean by that is this. If he has 5 stents and he's entering into congestive heart failure, he doesn't have a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so are you going to ride it out for a couple of years with him as he passes and make sure he doesn't die alone? Or are you going to use your retirement that you had to save on your own as a single mom because he left you a few times to go run around on you? Are you going to save that money and whatever inheritance your 94-year-old father leaves you to take care of him for the next 15 years and all of his surgeries and all of his health care and his skilled nursing and all that?
No.
That's the question.
I'm not. Mm-hmm.
And so I think the fair thing to do is to have that conversation, because in his mind, you've always taken care of him for 40 years, more than half his life.
Yes.
And so it's fair to say, hey, this train is over. I can't, in good conscience, take money that go to my grandkids and support a guy who left me twice. Or
that's absolutely right.
Or I'm going to take care of this and this and this, and then that's it. What am I supposed to do? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You should call the Social Security office and see where you're at.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I don't mean to be cruel to him, but man, he's used you for a long, long, long time.
Oh, yes, he has. Yes, he has. Yes.
And your kids can see it, that they're worth more than being used. And I guess my hope for you, Laura, is that even after all this time, you're able to grieve. It would have been your 40th anniversary. How amazing would that have been? And your kids would have been there, and the grandkids would have been there. That's how it was supposed to be. And it's not. And every single person listening to this call, myself included, has a picture of the way things were supposed to be, and they're not. And the quicker we can sit in what is, choose reality, we can sit in that and just exhale and weep and then our bodies learn that we're in the driver's seat of our own life, and we can then go about making and painting a new picture. All right, what's the time left? I'm 65. Statistically, I've got 10 to 15 years, but potentially I've got 20 years left. My dad's 94. Maybe I can do 95. 30 years, I'm sorry. What do I want to do with the last 30? I'll be his mom? Cool. You can do that. I'm not going to get mad at you for it. You get your life. You get to choose. I'm going to move in by my grandkids and just be the greatest grandma of all time. You get to pick. You get to pick. You get to pick. I do think it's fair to have a hard conversation, whatever that's going to look like. I'm going to continue to take care of you even though you've hurt me. But here's my boundaries because I'm your mom now. Or, hey, this train ends. Where I'm done. This money's going to take care of me for the rest of my life and for these babies.